The Western woman, the American woman, from a standpoint of marriage and family, this is the worst place in the world to choose a wife. Not only the worst place in the world, it's the worst place in the annals of history to choose a wife. Attention to a woman is like crack cocaine. And so she's seeing these things on the internet, and she's got guys in her DM, and they're giving her a false idea of their value. Male attention is monopoly money. Because when you hit 35, and that attention starts to go away, and you start looking for men, the kind of men you want, now you're competing with the younger, hotter, more fertile girl.
Am I tripping? Or am I tripping? I have seen more white guys with black girls. Am I tripping? Or the white guys like got it to a point where they're like, okay, y'all black dudes don't wanna, take y'all, black queens, y'all wanna go to the snow bunnies. Now we gonna jump on y'all black queens. I feel like the white dudes have stepped up to the plate. I'm going off of my observation. I've seen a lot of white guys taking black girls right now. You feel me? Or the black girls taking the white guys. Because these black dudes, they have converted to the other side. This is my observation right now, because I know I've seen a lot of it. I've been even taking photos, like snap, just to add it up for the week. Damn, white guys. Or am I tripping? I have seen more white.
Basically, in that video, he talks about how he's seen more white guys with black women today he's ever seen before. I want to give a little bit of insight. The way that you get treated by a white man is completely different from how you get treated by a black man. White men will actually date you, like take you out on dates, like fancy dinners and stuff. I've noticed that with some black men, they tend to put a little bit less effort into dates. Yo, like come kick back at the crib. Let's ball up in the basement. White men will also take you a lot seriously, a lot quicker. They'll want to tie the knot, as opposed to black men. They tend to take their time, and sometimes you could be with a guy for 10 plus years and he won't even propose then. And will also take the load off of you being a partner in the relationship. That's where they'll treat you like a lady and have a little bit less expectations when it comes to financial and just in every which way. Black men, I realize it's really 50-50. Now, I understand that relationships aren't always 50-50, but I will say that I just noticed with white men, they just put a lot more effort. I have the ability to sit more into my feminine energy. This doesn't go for everybody. Every race is going to have some good and some bad. Ladies, if you have never tried it, consider going for it. Love my black brothers, but at the end of the day, homegirl's trying to walk down the aisle one day. Statistically speaking, physically, this is not me. Black men are the least most likely to propose. Again, this is not for everybody, because damn, are they sexy. It's all about what you want in your life.
My interest in dating another black man is like 1% at this point. They want us to be ride or dies until they get their shit together, and then they don't want to support us in return. They don't want to commit to us. They don't want to marry us, but then they want all the benefits of being a husband without actually proposing to us. I need someone who's intentional in every single aspect.
All right, passport bros, step into my office real quick. Listen, I know that most of you guys have Peter Pan syndrome and y'all really don't want to grow up. And you guys like to live in this world of delusion. But here's a news flash for you fellas. The women are not mad that you guys are going overseas and basically participating in prostitution. What sisters are irritated about is that you go overseas and trick your money off, and you're coming back home harassing sisters and telling them that they're undesirable. These women don't really care that y'all are going overseas and basically being tricks and simps, because y'all aren't desirable anyway. Most men who participate in the passport movement are undesirable.
Men going their own way movement has caused controversy in dating culture as anti-feminist men express interest in leaving Western countries for third world countries in search of traditional women. This group of men leaving Western countries with higher living standards to countries with lower living standards are called the Passport Brothers. Passport Brothers are seeking greener pastures in less developed countries. They believe the economy of these third world countries is better than that of the United States. and that the women overseas are less judgmental than westernized women and have more traditional values too. Many of the passport brothers from Western countries like the US and the UK feel that the women of their country have been heavily influenced by feminism, which doesn't make them suitable to be domesticated wives. In truth, these men are intentionally seeking women they can control and exercises their manliness. The man who initiated the passport bro movements, Austin Holloman, says women in these poorer countries are more agreeable and manageable, which is why are the perfect fit for those looking for free sex and traditional wives. In his words, Brazilian women are easy to get, and this raised an eyebrow by various government authorities and the locals. He got death threats from angry Brazilian men because of the way he degraded their women, and the news media called the embassy and tried to deport him. But he ran out of Brazil before they got to him.
Austin Holman is apologizing for comments that he made about Brazilian women. Take a listen.
What I meant by when I said that Brazilian women are easy, and I shouldn't use the word easy. I know that now. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, for a man that's well-mannered, well-dressed, that has put in the effort to raise himself, he will have an easier time in Brazil, as opposed to where I was from. That wasn't always the case.
Both American and women around the world are speaking out against the passport bros, arguing these guys are using their status to take advantage of women and even calling it a form of sex tourism and sex trafficking.
However, the same guy is advising American men that not all women in these poorer countries will be interested in them. This proves the passport brothers are a bunch of insecure men who don't have what it takes to approach women and are intimidated by self-confident and secure women. Whether they are in America or abroad, their insecurities will still be there. To be fair, the idea that men from Western countries go to poorer countries to find a wife is nothing new. It has been going on for decades. However, the recent trend of passport brothers has a sadistic agenda for migrating to poorer countries. The problem with passport brothers is that these men fit into the incel culture of men who believe women owe them sex and submission. This is why most people criticize the passport bro movement, because it is a sex tourism and sex trafficking agenda, buying girls.
Another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive to them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in
Facts.
many cases.
And that's what they covering up. And you can tell that by the way that, what's his name, Austin, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have sexual intercourse with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him. That's what's really about to happen. Because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. You know, they also came out saying, we know these passport bros, they not new.
So essentially, they're chumps themselves.
Yes.
They're simply Johns on the streets of America.
There might be some that might be actually looking for love that can't find it maybe in America, but you didn't let some rotten apples into y'all group, and y'all need to call the ones out that's not doing it correctly, because baby, we not just in America. You can claim wherever you want to be anytime. I don't care. Get a passport. Go find your love. But at the same time, don't put down us just because you feel like you've had some rejection. Deal with rejection. Heal. Go do your thing. We don't care.
Basically, the whole concept of passport brothers is about Western men, not just blacks, that believe women from third world countries are better wives and sex slaves compared to Western women because they assume that these women are desperate and poor. These men are a handful of insecure fellas who feel they are not valued by Western women who are more independent and exercise their right in deciding what they want in a partner and what they can do with their bodies. A deep dive into the delusional mindset of passport brothers in the United States. The United States of America is a multiracial country with a population of 333,287,557 people. Whites make up 78% of the population and blacks are 47.2 million people, making up 14.2% of the country's population. Black community consists of Hispanics or Latinos or a combination of both. Out of 14% of the black population, Black women make up 52% of the total black population compared to 48% of the black male population. When it comes to income, about 37% of black males work full-time and earn less than $50,000 compared to 47% of all males who earn $60,000 and above. Only 20% of black people earn $100,000 and above. This means the Passport Brothers are mostly low-income earners who can live a richer life outside America. If they earn their income online, they can possibly become millionaires in third world countries, and that is what most of these men are hoping for, so they can impress the women in these countries and buy sex. So in terms of better living standards, there is a benefit to migrating to countries with lower standards of living. But if these men are hoping to get a job in these third world countries, then their reality will kick in fast after they exhausted their savings, because people in countries with lower economic standards earn less than $10,000 annually. I find it delusional when some men say the United States will be left with more women and fewer men as more Passport Brothers leave the country. For the past 5 years, more than 1 million immigrants arrive in the U.S. each year. According to statistics, 51% of them are male immigrants, while 48% are female immigrants. Now, if men entering the U.S. are 5,000 times more than the few 10,000 leaving, that will invariably solve the imbalance, right? But here is the fun part. The majority of Passport Brothers are black men. This population of black men constitute 35% of juveniles, 60% of drug offenders, guilty of 61% of gun violence, the highest jobless rate of 9%, contribute to 39% of shitty husbands and 27% of sex offenders. So if can get 80% of this population of men to leave America, that's Hail Mary for us women and men staying in the U.S. This will ensure more comfortable standards for residents and immigrants. In the real sense, Passport Brothers are de-infecting America by leaving, and they should carry on leaving. These Passport Brothers make up the highest number of traditional men who reinforce patriarchy with their standards. They are a pollution to society, and wherever they go won't change their toxic mentality, and the women over there will be fed up with them very quickly. While the women from poorer countries are happily accepting Passport Brothers into their lives, they are also speaking up that they do not have monkey brains as these men think. That they are not easily manipulated.
American men, I've seen too many of you come overseas and cold approach and kill your entire ego. Your ego is all of your confidence. And I can guarantee you, if you keep approaching women overseas that are not interested in you, you're going to lose that confidence very quick. I've seen it happen too many times. Dudes will come to Brazil, come to Thailand, picking women that are not picking them, and then they think there's something wrong with them and they're frustrated and they think it's something wrong with the country. No, you're going after the women that don't want you. And now you're just as bitter as you were in the States because you're talking to people that are not interested in you.
In Thailand, women expect their men to dote on them. You can't date a Thai woman without bringing her flowers when you return home from work. Men from Latin America and some of the Asia countries' Passport Brothers are migrating to treat their women with respect, and their laws crack hard on abusive men. Even some countries are closing their borders on these guys. Countries like Netherlands and Brazil have banned visa approval for Passport Brothers. If Passport Brothers think they will have it easier abusing women overseas as they do to American women, then they are myopic and delusional simps. Women shouldn't lower their standards for incompetent men. Currently, 49% of households in the United States are run by women compared to 32% run by men. These women are breadwinners and corporate in their relationships. Most black women put up with broke men, and when the man becomes successful, he dumps her for other women. The undeniable truth is that black men don't want partnership. They want female slaves as girlfriends and wives. They want women that will submit to them despite their incompetence. Judging by what American women sacrifice to keep their families together, the least they expect is a respectful partner who will appreciate their efforts. It is understandable that women have their preferences in dating. And men, just like women, are free to choose partners who fit their lifestyle. What is not cool is dissing people because they don't fall in line with your dating choices. If black men say American women are not what they want in a woman, they are bound to go wherever they want to get their type. You don't need to badmouth women who don't comply with your expectations to gain sympathy. It's your life and you deserve to be happy. And one thing about being a happy, well-adjusted adult is that you make your own decisions and stand behind them. As long as you are not breaking any laws, you shouldn't care what people say, and you don't need to explain the reason for your happiness to anyone.
If you like this video and want to support my channel, please like, subscribe and click the bell icon before you leave. See you next time.